What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So, Eze and a new group of the Tigers making a case for local players at the World Cup. So, there's a case of local players at the World Cup qualifiers. Well, Nigeria named a squad mainly made up of local based players for their final window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 African qualifiers. It seemed like they had given up on the idea of qualifying for the global showpiece, but a game into these qualifiers, this young group of the Tigers players have dispelled the perception that they are merely in Angola to get a feel of the international basketball. So you can see, aside from Angola, using young players, you can see Nigeria trying to incorporate like their local players who play for their country to be able to put them in those situations and then see if they can be able to do that. They play at that level. So instead, the Nigerians turned heads in Group E on the opening day by beating a Cote d'Ivoire side carrying experienced players like Solo Diabate, Vavessa Fofana, and Charles Abu. So despite the Nigeria's memorable victory, it must be said before the start of these qualifiers in Rwanda, Cote d'Ivoire had already sealed qualifications for the 2023 World Cup in Japan, Indonesia, and Philippines. So Cote d'Ivoire already punched their ticket. So they had no stress in like winning that game because they're already in there, and yeah. But Nigeria's 72-63 win will help build the confidence of the second game for their second game against the fellow West Africans Guinea on Saturday, which they killed it. And one of the players who stood out from the win over the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire was 20-year-old point guard Victor Eze, who scored 18 points and delivered 2 assists and 3 rebounds. So the Kwara Falcons guard, who spoke to FIBA Basketball on Media Day on Thursday at the game venue, said while the trip is a learning excursion, they're always here to exhibit their abilities. On a personal level, Eze also mentioned that this tournament will help him be ready for the Basketball African League, which is set to kick off next month. So also that's a very good. It's just right around the corner. Eze was quoted as saying, "I feel honored to represent my country at this level. I have never played at this level of basketball before, so I want to get a good feeling of it. I want to learn, grow, and prepare my mind for the Basketball African League." So he was also quoted as saying, "We hope to improve. We hope to prove a point because in the past, home-based players have not had enough opportunity to represent the country at the highest level." So you can see Nigeria trying to use that strategy of inculcating their local players and putting them in situations where they're able to test their skill in the international level and the continental level. So we are. So he was also quoted as saying, "So we are here to show our country and fans that we understood the game and can play at the highest level." So Eze seems like a player with potential and could be a player to look out for in the future, based on the way that he's coming out and saying this, and the way his production on the court. You can see this is a guy who's destined for greatness in the future, and him having that ability to be able to adjust and be able to carry himself in this way, he's going to be in the basketball scene for a long time. So he also spoke about the match against the Ivory Coast, and he felt he was slow out of the starting blocks, and he had to figure out a different way of helping the team. Things were slow on offense, so I took it upon myself to guard the number 10 Solo Diabate and slowed him down. That helped me get my rhythm going forward in the game, said Eze. Eze and his teammates are the flag bearers for local players in Nigeria and these qualifiers, and should they exceed expectations, it will definitely be hard for selectors to ignore them. So you can see like the push for local players inside the Nigerian national team. This is actually a good sign to see, like basketball in Nigeria. You can see Angola, they're putting in young guys in there. I'm pretty sure they're like the local players in there. You can see Nigeria trying to put the local players in those situations. But when you look at my country like Kenya, you can see the over-reliance on players who play outside our borders is very high, and you're not even giving especially on the men's team, you're not giving like these guys opportunities to be able to play at that level. So you can see Nigeria trying to put in local players who are playing domestically, put them in those situations and test them. You can see Eze, this is a guy who's just playing. He's 20 years old. He's pretty young. His time is on his side. He came in. He stepped up big. He put up some stops on Solo Diabate, a 2-time BAL champion. and a guy that pushed the Cote d'Ivoire team to the AfroBasket finals where they eventually lost to Tunisia. So you could see Eze did not shy away from that challenge, and you could see like the hunger and determination that this man has. And I can say this guy's gonna be in the league for a long time, be able to build up on his resume. And this is also like a footnote and something that other nations and other countries, even my domestic country, my Kenyan, should employ and try to inculcate in the system. Because if you have players who are moving like this, it will be easy. It will be a lot easier to be able to rebuild, and it will be easier to be able to think long term. When you're building a core like this, you'll never have a shortage of quality from your starting lineup, from the bench. And yeah, man. So just my opinion, guys. So if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because I'll be coming up with such videos a ton. And I'm out. Peace.